All right, McCoy, vocals and guitar synthesizer.
I am Erik, Kikke, guitar.
Okay. Let's begin with why the band split up in the first place, because it's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what led to eventually you kind of stopping being a band?
Well, I think what kind of happened, at least with this lineup, we all started when we were just kids. I was like barely 20 when we first formed. Erik was like maybe 15.
Yeah, barely.
And I think just, as we I don't know, I think that those things kind of happen. You started to, everybody else had different interests and different things they wanted to do. And we had a pretty rigorous practice schedule, like 4 or 5 times a week, and it was pretty constant. I think after a while, maybe we just got burned out on ourselves. And then also sadness. I remember, I don't know if you remember this, we were really getting kind of, we were struggling to come up with like a follow-up to that, because it seemed like a pretty successful demo. And so, I don't know if it was just one thing. I think it was a bunch of different things. Our age, probably everybody else, except for myself, kind of went to different genres, whether rock or whatever. And I think it was, I don't know if there's one good answer for that, to be truthful, why that happened, but, if anything, I'll try not to, but I think if anything, we, being able to kind of have time and space apart from each other, and having a few years away from each other, and then having this opportunity, I think looking back in hindsight, probably the best thing we could do. I think if anything, it's made us a lot more excited to work again, and we kind of, from going on and doing other bands or whatever else, it really kind of gave us that, I guess it made us look at the past and see like, man, we really miss this stuff.
Now,
playing together.
While the band was not active, what musical ventures did you guys pursue? Because I don't believe you stopped.
No. Well, I kept Avernus going, but with different lineups, and we really didn't do anything to the magnitude that we did, especially with Sadness. James Janens and I had a version of Avernus, and we did that for a couple years. And we didn't play a lot of shows, and we didn't really release anything. Erik, I don't know, you had a band, if you want to speak to that.
Yeah. I was in a handful of rock groups, and I'm currently playing in one right now. But I've kept active, but metal is always in your blood. So I want to say, and Rick's tell me if I'm telling this part of the story wrong, I believe Jimmy got thrown out the idea from Rodney about doing a reunion gig, and I thought, at first I felt like that chapter of my life was kind of closed, but then I thought it'd be fun. But once Rick came into town and we got a hold of all the other guys, it was like nothing ever left, And like Rick said, I think it was just it was a sense of having to grow up a little bit. It was just now that we're a little older, I think we could appreciate what we had now. It's everything in hindsight, obviously, and I know that could be harsh, but it's great. I'm having a time of my life playing with these guys again.
Now, apart from the show being planned, was there anything else that sparked the reunion?
If I remember correctly, it was like last August, Erik just called me out. I was living in Colorado at that time, and he was all, hey, I'm throwing an idea out there. What if you would want to write a couple new Avernus songs, maybe an album, just see what happens? And I was like, yeah, totally. And then a week or two later, got an email from Jimmy or Erik that Rodney Pollock wanted us to try to do like a reunion show to open up for.
Does anybody need a button black shirt?
That all just kind of, we said, yeah, we're going to do it, and things kind of happened. It brought me back to Illinois, and we just started planning on it, and we've been practicing every week, and we're like I said, we're extremely excited to come back and do this, especially for a comeback show, getting to do Holiday Horrors with Macabre.
What was your first rehearsal like after so many years?
I think we were a little rusty in some areas, but at the same time, I know just walking back into Erik's basement, it was like nothing really ever changed. It was like picking up your instrument. We kind of remember the songs, and it was a lot more fluid and a lot more smooth than I think we all anticipated. It was kind of one of those moments like, Yeah.
We grew up as players. I think we grew up just in general. I think if I recall, Rick was the first guy that I actually saw, and him and I were tuning up and kind of messing around with a couple riffs and a couple parts, and man, it was like nothing changed.
Nothing at all.
It was funny because I looked and we kind of both smiled. It was like, wow, man. So it picked up like right where we left off.
20-some years ago.
That was something I didn't anticipate happening. I just thought, we'll get together, we'll learn the old stuff, maybe see if we can't write a couple new tunes. But right now the writing's kind of been flowing like a waterfall, really.
Yeah.
I don't know what other kind of analogy to make.
So this is really winding up to be something for more than just one show, from what you're saying.
We got plans, I mean, we've been really focusing the last couple of months on this show specifically, but, in our downtime, it's, like you just said, the music's just coming out, and so we're just jumping on the opportunity, and I think after this show we're going to regroup and then kind of go from there and see what happens, and the thing is we all really love playing together, and I think that's something we want to continue to do because that's what keeps us, it brought us back here. It's just the common ground that we really enjoy working together. Like I said earlier, I've had different lineups on this, and
now, are there any songs actually completed? Any new songs?
I can't. I'm not gonna say yes on that, but it's we got some really strong skeletons. Mm-hmm. We have our own kind of strange process about how we write stuff. We might have something almost complete, then we sit down and listen to it, and like, you know what, we can do this differently or better, and we go back and just tear it apart. But we've always done that. But yeah, we have some ideas what we're going to do. We're not going to let people wait too long to hear new material from us.
Now, as opposed to your older songs, how do the new riffs feel like? New songs, new skeletons?
They feel a lot more like the Sadness EP. They're a little more in that kind of vibe, a lot heavier, like we used to be, especially on Sadness. But there's definitely a little bit of a maturity there. It actually almost sounds a little like Of the Fallen and Sadness, which Of the Fallen, I think even, I'm still proud of that record, but I think our approach to that record was kind of wrong, or I think we went in the wrong direction. So I think the new material we're writing is really kind of a marriage between the Sadness material and Of the Fallen, but Of the Fallen being a little more with an actual plan, or I think the direction we're going in with the writing's, much better, much more. It's definitely heavy. It's a lot like Sadness, actually, to be honest with you. There's some elements of everything we've done over the years.
I think really what we've done is just kind of taken everything that we thought was our strongest assets of Avernus, music-wise, and that's what we're really focusing on, kind of bringing it all together. However, we think about when we're writing No Limits, we might have some really mellow moments, and if you listen to Sadness, there's some very tranquil moments, but then it goes back to something really dark and heavy, and I think that's where we're going to kind of keep that aspect, because for me, that's always been my favorite of the music.
One thing, if you don't mind me interjecting here, I will say any old school fans of the Sadness EP and that Sadness era is what we call it. I do believe they're going to like this new material. I think they're going to enjoy it because the material is a little more in that direction. Sorry. I just want to articulate what I was saying earlier a little better.
Now that there's a lot more going on in the band, are you surprised with the type of legacy you've left behind as far as regrouping and seeing that people still remember the band and still want to see the band?
Yeah, over the years, I've gotten a few emails here and there from people, different countries, saying, hey, how can I get the Sadness EP? Can I get a shirt? Can I get that? And it's just like, well, we don't really have that. We're not, we're not together. We're not really functioning on any level. But once we announced, like on Facebook, when we announced the show, it was like automatic, and every week it's been growing. We've been promoting it, and it's weird, because I don't know if weird's the right word for that, but it's not so much surprising as it's kind of a validation, because we wrote this we were like
almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago, and to think that still to this day people are really interested in something we wrote when half the band was barely out of their teens it's pretty cool. And, you know, we never toured barely at all. We haven't done a lot of that work. But at the same time, I mean, we've always had our followers or fans, whatever you want to call them, always like devout. And you know, that's a great feeling. There's so many bands out there, and it's even worse today with, you know, home recording or and MP3s where you don't even need labels or even have a whole lot of talent to really put out a demo. So the scene's so saturated, I think, overall. The fact that we still have, you know, a big handful of people that want to hear not just stuff from Sadness, stuff from, you know, almost 20 years ago, but are looking forward and asking us, are you guys going to be playing live again? Are you going to have new stuff coming out? And that's exciting. And that really, you know, when I think about it, that totally makes me want to sit down and just knock out another album. And, you know, we're thinking, why does it have to end here?
True.
Yeah, there's no reason to.
Now, I only have the two of you here, but who is really back with the band now?
Well, it's myself and Erik. We got Ricky Frack back on drums. We have James Janens, who's also in Jungle Rod, Rain Inferno. He's been in every band in Chicago, I think.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Jimmy's an active guy.
Yeah, Jimmy's our bassist, or he's our guitarist, excuse me. Bass-wise, not sure yet. And we got Chris on keyboards. So I would say almost the full original lineup, or at least the Sadness lineup. That's probably, to me, that's the most. I don't know.
I think that was the most cohesive lineup that we've ever had, which, like I said,
I agree with you there.
And which also is a testament to us writing some of this new material, which it's in its infancy right now. We don't have anything completely together, but we're doing a lot of writing, and I can tell you that the one feeling I had is being with these guys. I forgot how cohesive we were as a unit, playing as a group, and that's definitely was proof in rehearsing for the first few times together and writing some new stuff, you know.
So when you look back at the entire career of the band and the breakup and now the return, does it feel like the cycle has been completed?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. If anything, I think that if anything, if we just do this show and that's it for some reason, to me it gives me some closure to this era. Because when we first started the band, I don't think any of us could have seen that many people, and now to this day are that interested in, you know, some songs to go. That's awesome. Not a lot of bands can say that. I mean, there's definitely, like, you know, tonight we have McCoy, who are legends in their own, and the Chicago legend, if you ask me. But I mean, the fact that we got asked by them that, hey, dude, open this show for us, get back guys for the show. That's an awesome feeling. You know, we're extremely grateful to our fans and the people that write us and that are here tonight to show and to follow us from here on out. And, you know, people that like yourself want to sit down and just, you know, interview us and stuff like us. You know, yeah, that's amazing.
No, that was before he was freebasing.
I'm excited.
Thank you.
I love these guys.
You got it, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Appreciate it.
I think he invented freebasing.